Today we're going to show you just how absurd Legendary Tribal can be. This deck ramps and cheats in unkillable threats at a breakneck pace. Our creatures also grow in power at a speed that would make Ouroboros blush. And there's still so many more things to talk about with the tricks this deck can do, so let's just jump right into it. Guys, today we have an absolute banger for you. We actually went 9-1 in today's video with this thing, and I forgot just how good some of these cards are, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to our community, specifically Pejman, for inspiring me to play a Bant Legends build. I know this looks very different from the list that he used the other day on our stream, but it is inspired by that. I basically gutted it and retuned it up for myself, and I found that this one is working a lot more smoothly for me. But anyways, this deck was built around the idea of things like Sarah Pharaoh, which can utilize the Legends Tribal sort of thing, where you can make all of your legendaries cheaper to play. Eventually this flips over and you can get everything a bonus of 2/2 power, which works extremely well with things like Sovereign, because Sovereign is going to allow us to basically double up on whatever the difference in power a creature may have. So let's say Sovereign's on the battlefield, it gets that 2 power pump. It's going to add additional 2 counters to it when it attacks into the opponent. So this is going to level up all of your creatures really fast. The same sort of thing goes for the backside of Kren here. It's going to basically pump up your entire field of legendary creatures, and this is kind of where it was inspired for Pejman when he showed me the deck list, because you can actually get this in the backside of this card in for free with things like Collector's Cage, and then the counters are obviously going to play a huge factor in this one too, with the Collector's Cage just placing counters on things. But if we can get the backside of that Kren down, it's going to then pump the entire battlefield of legendaries as well. Speaking of things I want to cheat in today, it's going to be Saab is going to be the win con in most of our games today. This card is a 4 of in the deck because I forgot how broken this card is. Every time this card has graced the battlefield, I seem to not be able to lose a game, and a lot of that has to do with because of the indestructibility cost, or the indestructibility on this thing, and the reduced cost, like I said, from Cage, but also the reduced cost from Sarah Pharaoh, making it 2 mana cheaper. There's this curve that we hit out a lot in this video today, guys, where we go Llanowar Elves into a turn 2 Pharaoh into a turn 3 Sob. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then from there, we're drawing a bunch of cards. It's basically impossible to deal with. It's going to have the ability to draw me cards every single turn. And then I'm just going to put a 1/1 counter onto it with a Collector's Cage to keep it attacking and drawing me cards every single time. And of course, we had to have a full play set of Drunnith because we do have a really nice curve out here. So if we can get a Drunnith onto the battlefield early, we can start copying all of our other creatures. And the key word here is these copies are not legendary. So if you copy something, you're going to get 2 copies of it with all its abilities, but it's no longer a legendary, so you can have both on at the field at the same time, which is pretty absurd. Super fun list, and again, 9-1 record, or actually was it 8-1? I think it was 9 total games, so 8-1 record. Super fun and worked out really well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll see you back here at the end. Enjoy. Peace out. All right, guys, here we go, playing some Legendary Tribal. This hand could be really good if I find anything to activate these Verges. This could be a pretty solid starting hand here. We'll see. Give me a Forest. That'd be nice. I did find a Sob, and let's go. That's going to be the win con. This card is so overpowered still, guys. I have been experimenting with this deck for quite a few days now, and Sob, it just keeps finding its way back into the mix because when I tell you every time it hits the field I win, it's no joke, man. This card is wild. All right, we're going to take that. That's fine. Unfortunately, we missed any sort of land drop to activate the Verge. That's going to make things a little tricky here. I messed up my curve with this keep. I do have a Shelter by Ghost, though, so hopefully with the Shelter by Ghost, that'll get us back into the game. All right, this does count as a white source, but not exactly how I wanted that to go down. All right, let's start putting some 1/1 counters on the Elf here. Might as well. That's a great find. It's a really good find. And with the Collector's Cage, what's really cool about the Collector's Cage is that it can kind of manipulate the Sob's 1/1 counters and, allow us to draw cards every single turn, which is so overpowered. All right, we're going to take the damage again. Can't really afford to lose the Elf. It can ramp me into this, this Sob, so. We may have to do an emergency, you know, sheltered by ghosts onto the elf. You never know. The opponent is only on 2 lands as well, and they are mono green. So as far as removal goes, I think we're pretty safe. It does seem like they might have like a snakeskin veil or something, maybe. I do love the sovereign off the top. All right, not our best game, but we are still in this one thanks to the opponent also struggling with their mana. I definitely should have mulliganed. This would have been a lot better if I had a mulligan. They could have destroyed an artifact with that. No, an enchantment. Okay, I was gonna say not destroying that was weird, but that makes sense. Drawing a card, creating a food token. Very nice. All right, well, they can't really attack with the recruit anymore, but the snipers are still good to go. Okay, not attacking. We will definitely, most definitely be taking the Grove, and that'll give me another set of ward on the Sovereign. Still pretty tricky though, because I can't attack with the Sovereign. Now, we obviously know the opponent's probably running Ouroboros. All right, pass the turn. We're still looking for 1 land here. 1 singular land to activate these verges, and I'm good to go. Breeding pool would be savage, forest, whatever. Whatever it's got to be, man. But if I can get Sob down, man, we're gonna be in some serious business. I may not play Sob though next turn if I, you know, get a land, because I want to, you know, maybe get this Burke. All right, we're gonna definitely put the counter here. Another shelter. That is spicy. Don't get me wrong, guys. That's very spicy. But the thing is I want to save that for Ouroboros. Let's get this guy because we can actually get the backside of him. Pass the turn. I may not look like it, guys, but we're actually in a really good spot right now. Assuming we hit a land in the next 1 or 2, maybe 3 turns. We're in a really good spot. All right, that gives everything trample that has a counter on it. Again, only concluding the idea that they're running Ouroboros. These Death Touch creatures that, you know, are sitting here are really annoying though. The good news is I do have this, which will have first strike. All right, let's just go and put some counters. All right, another Sob is crazy. Oh, we are getting absolutely cooked by land drops. All right, we pass the turn. We hope we find one here. Let's give them a lands, am I right? Because they are also having the same problem. Crazy. The good news is they just can't attack though. I mean they could have been sending in the snipers, but they're choosing not to, which is kind of odd, really. It's a land. It is a land, which means I get to do my thing here. Let's go. Let's start with getting this guy down, or does it matter which one? Yeah, let's get this one first. Game time, guys. Game time. I would imagine it's wraps for the opponent now. All right, we're gonna put a counter here and probably here. Now we can swing in and pump all of our legendary creatures to the absolute moon. Oh my gosh, you want to talk about a 1/1 counters build, man. You got a mono green, but I've got the elite legendary counters build. All right, I kind of want them to get their Ouroboros, you know, to keep things a little bit fair here now, but they probably won't be so lucky. Yeah, it looks like they might be intending to scoop here. They missed the land drop again. Or maybe they're just kind of confused as to why my creature's still alive. They didn't realize it had first strike. Man, everything getting just more 1/1 counters is crazy. So this one is a one of. I don't get to play it too often, but whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter and attacks, you double it. Kind of insane. I mean, so is this too. Let's go. We're finally drawing 2 cards per turn. Again, I think we send in our first strike creature just to bypass the sniper's abilities. Perfect. They just keep blocking too with it, which is great. Good news for us, man. I can't put a counter on Sob with this. I would love to, but that's going to stop me from drawing cards. We need it to be an even amount of, or whatever, an automatic counters. All right, so they're going to send that in for sure because it's, you know, going to generate treasures for them. And I'm sure they want those. I still might, you know, I still might let them. Oh, they're not. They're not attacking. Weird. I would have sent that in to get the treasures needed, right? To get the Ouroboros down. Oh, well. I mean, we both kind of had a really bad game there, but we just found our land before they did. GG. All right, with this hand, we have one of my favorite starts to the game, which is a Llanowar Elf right into a Sarah. That's a really good start. I love this little combo. And then it makes everything I draw from that point forward very cheap. If we can get our big frog god, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. I need the frog. Give me the frog. Give me my Sob. Orzhov sacrifice is annoying, but I do have the ability to gain a lot of life potentially, so. All right, I can't really attach it to the Sarah though. Oh my god, we got it. We got it. Okay, we're gonna go with a white source here or blue. Let's just go blue. Pay 2 life. I cannot believe we already hit it. That is literally the god curve, guys. We just hit the god curve. And we got a collector's cage to follow it up. Oh, let's go, dude. What a game. We went from the worst potential start we could ever had to the greatest. And we do really want to go with the collector's cage next turn, I think, just because we want to make sure we're manipulating Sob's ability to draw us cards. And hopefully we can maybe just find another shelter in the collector's cage. If not, something big. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Not the greatest. I was hoping for one land at least, but you know. What can you do? More card draw is fine. It's not the end of the world. I could go with another collector's cage and see if I can gamble on something better, but I think this is actually fine. So we put it on the Sob so it can attack, and then that's gonna draw me cards because it has trample. Transform, yes. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, they're only on turn 2 and they're facing down a 10-10 trampler. Like, are you kidding me? Absolutely nuts, man. And then I got 2 shelter by ghosts. Let's go. Definitely going to be able to outgain any sort of life drain they may have for us, but they had a banishing light off the top there. That was kind of scary. That could have been bad because I could have taken my Sob, but GG's, man. All right, well, we are going second, but we do have potentially the exact same fast start that we had a moment ago, which could really, you know, fly off the charts here quickly. Come on, man. I really hope we don't get I mean, this is a lot more difficult to pull it off this time around, though. Obviously, going second, there's a lot more chances for the opponent to interact with, like, let's say the elf on turn 2 before I'm able to get the Sarah down. And then Sarah, obviously, one more turn for them to, you know, interact with that as well. It just makes everything a little bit trickier, but, you know, as long as they're not some sort of, like, mono black or control deck, we should be okay. I like seeing a plains here. Life gain. Okay, I think we have a really good game against life gain. Let's do it. This is one of the more popular decks in best of 1 standard right now. Oh, it's cats. It's straight cats. Okay, got it. Sounds good. We'll take it, unfortunately. We got the Sob, but we missed the land drop. Maybe it's Zach Fair into another elf. That's probably the play. That's probably going to be the play. I got Zach Fair for indestructibility too, which is nice now. I don't think we're going to necessarily need it. I'm sure they're going to be running Sheltered by Ghosts, which bypasses the whole indestructible thing. Caretaker's Talon is pretty rough. I may want to actually just choose that to exile over any sort of cat. I don't know. Hard to say. I will take advantage of this, though. I think I'm going to take out the Arobo. Yeah, I think that's the move. I am gonna flip Sarah though at some point, which is like unfortunate, but here we go. Here we go. What do we get? Give me something good. That's really good. So is that. We'll take you though. All right, let's put some counters on you and you. And it's whenever I attack at all, right? Yeah, double the counters on everything that attacks. Let's go. Boom. I love it. All right, and now we got Sheltered by Ghost for the win. I may have to look into the fact that we keep drawing these verges over and over again. I'm gonna look at my mana base and see if there's a way I can fix that before the next game starts, because that's been kicking our butts. Let's do... this is really tempting. I would flip this too, but I won't be able to play Sheltered by Ghost. Am I okay with that? I think I'm kind of okay with that. I think I'm pretty okay with that. Let's put a counter here. Yes, transform. Yes, send everybody in. Double the counters on everything. Absolutely incredible. All right, opponent is on the clock big time. But yeah, we've definitely got to sort out what the heck is going on with these verges. I may have to do something with the mana. Yeah, we're definitely blocking. I mean, why wouldn't we? They're sweeping the board. Is that really what's happening here? Are we really gonna get swept here? Okay, I mean, that's fine. I'm still left with 2 potential winners here. Perfect. Good game. Good game. That was close. Again, closer than it needed to be, just strictly because of our mana base. I will go ahead and I'm gonna go take a look at it, and we'll be back on with the next one. Let's go. All right, we made a few adjustments to the mana base. I hope it helps. Yeah, this hand seems okay. I think it's fine. It's not the greatest start that we've ever had. Now it got a lot better. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Probably make this a white source. Okay, so the opponent probably setting up for some sort of Kona, some sort of Kona nonsense. They're gonna be, or actually they're filling up their graveyard. Probably not. It could be a reanimation. It's gonna be Arden. No, it's Valgavoth. Interesting. Well, I think we already lost. I mean, that's a really good start for them. It's a really good start. Yeah, I hate to see it. All right, if I can get a blue land, I can get this down. That's gonna be really nice. I don't know how I'm gonna answer a Valgavoth problem though. That's the only thing. I mean, I guess I could just block it with the huge Sob body. That'd be kind of crazy. You can have it, unfortunately. I know they're gonna get something big though. Come on, give me a blue land. One time for your boy. I might avoid. Man, I don't know what to do here. Feels like I should probably go with this and get a collector's cage down and hope it hits something big. Let's put a counter here. I guess it has to go here, unfortunately. So that way my cage hits perfect. And we don't get a great hit on that either. There's some potential though here, I think. I'm gonna take Drunnith. And I'm gonna attack. Okay, so Drunnith comes down, this flips over, Drunnith goes to 3 immediately, which means I can play something like a Sarah and copy it, which would be kind of ridiculous, making everything extremely inexpensive. All right. Oh, they just bring Valgavoth straight up back to the field without doing the Arden combo. Kind of strange. Definitely think the Arden combo was probably the way to go. Especially because you keep filling up your graveyard. Why not play the Arden on that one? I don't know. Now, I could try to get lucky here with the second collector's cage. As a possibility. I think my original game plan, though, is probably pretty solid. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and put a counter on the Sarah, which brings out Drunnith, which then flips the Sarah. All right, and then the following couple of turns here, I can get like, you know, bigger copies of things that are much more sizable. I think Sheltered by Ghosts isn't terrible. Trying to take their Valgavoth would be pretty solid, but I need to sacrifice 3 other permanents. It's doable. It's definitely doable. I don't know why I can't seem to find 3 land drops, so it just keeps getting weirder and weirder with these land drop problems. Definitely don't feel like I had a Verge problem this time, though, which is good. I mean, that pretty small sample size, but I think we got the mana base as good as I could get it. All right, so they put a card in their graveyard. It's another land. They've got a Cactar in there, which would have been pretty bad if they brought back Arden. They've gave me every chance in the world to come back into this game. A second Sob. Ugh, that's so brutal. Okay, so if I play this, I copy it. This gets a counter. Then what's everyone's power at? This is 4, this is 4, this is 4. Then I put a 1/1 counter on like a Drunith or something. Okay, hold on. All right, let's do it. Let's do this. We copy the Sarah. Okay. We put the counter, I think, on this. Okay, Sheltered by Ghost attached to it. We steal the Valgavoth. We sacrifice this and... No, hold on. We sacrifice you. Yeah, you, and you. Okay, and then this Sarah is going to flip. We say yes. We attack in. Gain a 6. Okay, I mean, I feel like we're playing this about as good as we can. I'm seeing the lines, but I don't know if it leads to victory, but they're looking for a Zombify, I'm guessing. That'll do it. That'll get them back the Arden, which in turn gets them the Cactar for the win, right? Yep. Cactar for the win. It's the best we could have done, man. It's the best we could have done. Unfortunate. Just hoping they just make some sort of mistake there. Nothing we could do. I mean, a 2-lander again, all the way through. Just that doesn't feel very good. GG's. All right, surely this game will be better. We have 2 lands, very terrifying apparently. But I do have 2 elves, and hopefully that'll be the difference maker in this one. I do not know what's going on with the land situation. I think I run 22 total, so it is kind of weird that I can't find a 3rd land drop. Usually, you know, a lot of people in these kind of curved decks or with a lot of ramp would sometimes even run 20, but I thought 22 would be more than enough. And we're immediately missing land drops. Right on. Okay. I'm gonna chalk it up to bad luck for real though, because I have been having no issues like that until we started recording. So we'll get out of this unlucky funk in a minute. I do have potentially a Sob next turn if I get a land. They're ramping with Simic colors and dragons. That's interesting. All right, we did in fact get our Sob here. And I will attack in with both of these. All right, we have an indestructible creature. Not that it matters. Simic colors typically going to be more bounce effect type spells. We'll see. I'll need to figure out a way to get this a counter though this turn, because I'm gonna need it to be able to attack. Lumbering World Wagon, okay. Okay, so unable to get it a counter just yet. Let me see, is there anything I can do here? Not really. I mean, all I can do is really draw cards. I'm a little worried though. All right, we're gonna go for some life gain here. I just don't know what's gonna happen in this next turn or two. I'm gonna go for life gain. Yeah, send everybody. Send the whole crew. All right, and unfortunately that puts me in a weird spot too with the Sob because it's not going to draw me cards next turn. Or it will. No, it will draw me cards. What am I saying? Okay, they scooped it up. Right on. My brain was like a minute behind everything that I was doing there just now. I was trying to focus so hard on how I was going to get out of that one because I thought for sure they were going to like Aetherize or like Kraken or Season of Weaving, something that was going to bounce everything back to my hand. But I did have 4 lands at that point, so I felt pretty comfortable. But they were going to get back the wagon, which was pretty scary. GG. All right, we got the opponent going first. Got a Kren after a Zac Fair with a Sheltered. I guess that's fine. I guess that's okay. The Sheltered's gonna come in handy, that's for sure. But they are already off to a really quick start here. Pay life for this or no? I think no. All right, they're off to a really fast start. I think the Shelter on the ley line is probably the move here. Keep these small creatures small. Okay, that's a good find. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Kren. All right. No attacks, or do we attack? Yes, we do attack, right? They can deal 2. Yeah, we attack. Keeps the life total low. Keeps that hope from being able to pump up the rest of their creatures. Did they miss a land drop? They did miss a land drop. That's good. Maybe I could get away with just sheltering the Hawk away? I don't know. Pay 2 life. Let's get this down. I'm going to flip it immediately, by the way, which is awesome. And we send in just one of these guys. That way, they're not tempted to swing in with any of their Sanctifiers here. I think we got him. I think this is a pretty clean game for us right here. All right, that's passively going to gain them life without them having to do anything. Okay. And that'll pump the rest of the field. Here we go. Now the games really begin. All right, I'm going to play this tap land, actually. I'm going to just do a Sheltered by Ghost and leave mana open for indestructibility. Not that I think it matters. I'm fairly certain if the opponent's going to do anything, it's going to be a Sheltered by Ghost or a, you know, exiling effect like a Banishing Light. So I don't think indestructibility is going to matter a whole lot. Banishing Light. Okay. They don't have the ability to take the Kren though. Oh, that's actually a mistake on their end. I'll take that. All right. I think we're chilling right now. 3, 4. This costs 6. I'll take that. It's not bad. Let's do this for green. Do we want to pay 2 life though? We're gonna do what? 2 for that, 1 for that, and then 2 left over for a Sheltered potentially. Nah, let's do it. Oh, I just made it tapped. I meant to leave it on tapped. All right, sure. That's fine. We still have the 1 mana open then for the Zac Fair to give indestructibility again, and we're getting in for the 7. Yeah, I mean we're doing really well right now. This is looking like a pretty easy win. I think we went second too against an otherwise very aggressive build. To be fair, they didn't get any of Johnny's Pride Mates down or Essence Channelers yet. Those are kind of their big win cons. What happens if I flip this? I've actually never even thought about flipping it. Exile target on land permanent, transform this, activate as a sorcery, and it says indestructible at the beginning of your combat on your turn. Put a 1/1 counter on another target creature you control until next turn, gains indestructibility. If that creature is a legendary, draw a card. That's pretty busted. Cost 7. Never been in the position to actually pull that off. 2 really good cards here. Nice. We'll take it. And we are attacking maybe? Yeah, definitely with you. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and you as well. Seems good. And we do draw some more cards off the Cutzel. And now we're finding all the lands. Isn't that how it goes, huh? What mana problem? All right. They finally get down an Essence Channeler. Not a huge deal because I'm holding on to the Sheltered. I think they may end up conceding here because, oh yeah, they're definitely going to concede. Oh, if I flip this too, that'd be kind of crazy. Double the number of kind of counters though. I don't have a ton of counters. I guess if I do it after this goes off, hold on. Let me see if I change my abilities triggers. I'm actually going to do that. Let's go. Okay. So we attack in and we put this first. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, that's so good. Okay. That is so good. Good luck with that one. Good God. And we draw a card if we do damage because of the Cutzel. We have 5 attackers, 5 blockers. Yeah, GG's. That was nuts. That was nuts. I've never been in a position to make that stack happen the way I did, though. In case anybody's new to the game and needs that information, what I just did there, basically both of these creatures have a triggered effect, right? And the Sovereign's ability is to put 1/1 counters on a creature and double whatever sort of power that they are already, you know, like let's say this pumps up our creatures by 2/2. So this is going to throw on 2 extra counters to those creatures because it's the difference of that power. And then this, on the other hand, is going to double the amount of counters on our legendary creatures. So they didn't have any counters. So I wanted to make sure they got counters from the Sovereign first and then doubles. Kind of nice. Kind of nice. All right, we have potentially a turn 2 Venat, but it's going to be tricky with the mana. This is definitely keepable though, right? I mean, we got 3 lands and we got a couple elves. Got to keep it. I do love the Sob off the top. That's big. Orzhov though, potentially life gain. Yep, it's an Orzhov life gain build. So again, going second against life gain, not the strongest position to be in a lot of the times, but in this case, not too worried about it. Not too worried about it with the Sheltered by Ghost in hand, and especially with an indestructible creature. Oh, we gotta take the Burk, right? Gotta take the Burk. I had to get a refill on that water, man. Crispy. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 potential mana here. I'm gonna just play this then. And we're gonna get the Sob down. And now we're officially gonna be drawing 2 cards a turn additional, especially with the help of the Collector's Cage. All right, I mean, that's not too scary of a turn. The Enduring Innocence got no value because both creatures were bigger than 2 power, but they are going to draw some cards off the Halia, so there's that. But I do have reach on the Sob too, so good luck getting through with your flyers. A lot of these things are going to be bats and stuff, so they like to generate value by attacking over the top, but that's not happening in this one. Whatever you want to do, my dude. Whatever you want to do. All right. Allergies are tough, dude. Okay. Here we go. Draw 2 cards. Love it. Let's do this for white. We're gonna pay the life, that way we can activate the Verge as well. We're gonna do this, which is gonna allow me to draw cards when a legendary gets cast, which is a free casting right here. I mean, it's bananas. Once this thing starts going, it's bananas. It's very hard to beat once the ball gets rolling. And another Sob is not ideal, but that's okay. We've got plenty of value on board now that I'm not too concerned. Now, here's the deal. We have reach. We can block the Zora line, or we can just attack and try to get the, try to get the game a little bit more fair. Right now, we're losing pretty bad. I'm a little bit worried about Sheltered by Ghosts, so I think that attacking here and getting the value before it gets taken anyways should be the play. We double its counters too, which is awesome. But even if they let this get through, we're still losing the game technically. I just hope it doesn't get taken by a Sheltered, man. That's all I care about. I have another one, and so it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just I'd like to get my own Sheltered attached to it, start gaining some life. I'd like to probably take out the Enduring Innocence, so we stop the card draw. That's also going to draw them cards, though. A lot of value. A lot of card advantage value for the opponent here on this one. I think I'm getting a little bit more value, though, off my Sob, right? All right, more life gain, back to 25. Hitting me through 3 over the top. Another Collector's Cage, that's cool. It's actually very cool. 2 additional cards, that's nice. I think for starters, let's just gamble and see what we hit with this. What did we find? We got a Zac Fair. I mean, that's not terrible. Get Lost would be pretty bad. But I'm guessing that, you know, we're more than likely going to just see the opponent play Sheltered by Ghosts. I really want to get Sarah down. I just don't think it's possible. I think we need to just give the counter here. Get the Zac Fair in. Let's get the card draw. I forgot about the card draw. That's nice. Nothing great. Sheltered by Ghosts for sure. We got to shut down the Innocence. Okay. And last but not least, I think I'm going to put a counter. You know what? Let's leave the indestructibility potential open. I was going to put a counter on these so we can attack and start doubling their counters, but that doesn't seem like a very smart play. All right. Do they want to block? No? Well, they lose then, right? Are they conceding? I guess they concede. Fair enough. I guess they just concede in their own way here. Dude, Sob is broken. I forgot how good this card is, man. We are climbing right now. Okay, so we officially only have one type of Verge in the deck. It's Hushwood Verge, and we find it every single time. It is so obnoxious. But you know what? I'm going to keep it again because odds are we're not going to get mana screwed again. So let's keep it, and hopefully we can activate the Verge. That works. Fine, I'll take it. You know what? It's not what I wanted, but I'll take it. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. 1 second. I'm fighting it. I'm fighting the sneeze. Fight it. Fight it. I think I'm good. That hurt. That hurt. Oh, we got the land. Let's go. Okay, we got the Sarah down, which makes everything cheaper. We got the God Curve start out here. If we get a Sob off the top, it's GG's. Please don't. Please don't. Is this dragon? Okay. Interesting. Bahamut comes to mind. Maybe like because I'm seeing that they're working off the surveilling of this, which a lot of times could be like a Yuna sort of thing. Or it's just straight up dragons. Could be. Straight gasoline on the dragons. This could be a tough one. Sheltered by Ghost, though, obviously going to be really helpful, but I'm assuming they're going to have a lot of burn. As long as I get my creature above a certain threshold on power and toughness, before I attach this, we could be in a good spot. Okay, they just go Esper Origins. Now, this does ramp them by 2 the following turn here, so it might be worth hitting with the Shelter by Ghost. I'd rather not, but just because it's a saga and it will eventually, you know, go away. So I'd rather not, you know? A Sob. Interesting. All right, well, this will draw me a card if a creature is, you know, kind of modified, right? So I guess we'll do this to modify the Venat. And that'll draw me a card on the attack. Another Sob. Not ideal, not ideal. I do run 4 of them, though, so it is what it is. The opponent, though, with, you know, the ability to deal 5 damage for only 2 mana is kind of busted. Okay, looks like we're going to get the Sob here. I mean, am I going to get anything better with the Collector's Cage than a Sob? I don't think so. That's a good card. I don't think leaving mana open matters. Okay, we're going to draw another card. I do like the card advantage I'm getting here. It's nice. I guess a really, really good player could have probably predicted drawing into maybe potential Zac Fair and leaving a white source open this turn. Darn it. Okay, there it goes. They get back. Or does it go to exile? Nice, it goes to exile. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, let's go. They just scoop it up. I'm telling you guys, I'm on the run of a century with this deck. This is crazy. All right, this may or may not make the video. I'm pretty close on time. I just want to keep the run going and see how crazy it can get, but unfortunately a double mulligan might seal the deal here. That's actually really good. Let's drop the shelter in one of these. I mean, this could end up being pretty solid. Could be. I didn't actually get to see a whole lot of Drunnith in this video, huh? We didn't see much Drunnith at all. All right, Llanowar Elf it is. I do have the perfect curve into Sarah again, which is always nice. The opponent on Orzhov colors, though, are we sacrifice? Looks like it's going to be more of a control sort of shell. That's actually a good top deck right there. All right, looks like it's going to be a bit of a control shell, maybe like an exile pile. Like they want to exile everything, you know? Oh, it's Esper. Esper control, which means it's nil. So this is probably the worst possible matchup for us here. We might have just run into a wall. All right, let's see if we can pull off a copy of the Kren here. Looks like we're gonna get the Kren copy. All right, I don't necessarily want to put a counter onto the Drunnith here with the Kren, which, you know, kind of annoying that I'm gonna waste a little bit of a value here, but I think it's definitely worth it to make sure we get a copy of these. So we're just gonna submit one here. I know I could choose Drunnith, but that would then in turn lose the value. So let's do that. And 3 steps ahead to draw and discard. Wow, not countering the Kren. Pretty smart by them. Obviously, we're gonna get the copy regardless. But a lot of players make the mistake of countering those spells in those situations. All right, if it's Day of Judgment, we just lose. Yeah, we just lose. All right, well, I mean, we were on a pretty crazy run. I mean, it was bound to end at some point here. You know what? This could avoid a lot of the sweeper stuff, though. Hold on, there's a chance, guys. There's a really small chance that they don't counter this and I get through this. We might actually pull this off. Hold on. Hold on now. Hold on now. If they mill half my library here, though, with the rupture, it's still over. I just hoping that they don't. I'm hoping. We're riding off of the good old hope. Yep, unless you can exile it, my friend, which I don't want to jinx myself, but hopefully not. Okay, yeah, that's not ideal. Not ideal. What if we try to put a counter on it and then play this to draw another card? I mean, it's something I can get value out of, I think. No, I think we throw it away. All right, let's get this down. Flip the Sarah. Attack in with the Sob. I mean, hopefully. Hopefully. Looks like Bees has a different idea here. Okay. We're in. We're in for 10. Is it a Flood Maw? Is it a Flood Maw? That'd be terrible. Oh, nice. We got the 10. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, man. All right, Bees, what do we got next? Shoot the Sheriff. That's fine. It did its job, right? It did its job. Drawing 2 more. Here we go. Give me a cage so I can keep the Sob attacking in. Let's go. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna get you down. Ideally, a third creature would have been nice here, but what can you do? They may stop this. No, they don't. The Cutzel seems fine. It's not the best pull, but it's out of the that grouping. It was the best. All right, so I could technically just go Sheltered by Ghost here. And, oh no, I ran out of white sources thanks to the auto tapper. Darn it. They tapped the wrong mana there. I was gonna hopefully Shelter that and just win the game, but instead the auto tapper decides a different fate for me. You gotta pay attention when you have starting towns out here. You really do. Alrighty, I don't know what's gonna happen here, but I could have won the game there, so it's on me, whatever happens. Dude, how many games have we played? This will be game 9, and we only lost 1. That's crazy. What a run, dude. Yeah, it's over, unless they have Flood Maw, but if they don't, it's over. Even a Flood Maw, though, at this point. Yeah, I was gonna say, they gotta deal with the Elf then, too. GG's, man. An absolute run of the ages, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man. Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.